Alrighty, so I've got my round of 16 match versus Sangatsu today, who is, I think, a pretty difficult matchup as far as round of 16 opponents go. He's regularly in the top 8, I think was like top 2 last week, and obviously it fluctuates, but someone who, was, I think, weirdly low on the leaderboard at the exact point where they did the rating cutoffs, but I think normally would have been in the top 8 otherwise. So this is not an easy match. I sure do want to win though, because both last year and the year before, I was knocked out in the round of 8. And so if I lose in the round of 16, that's going to be quite a downgrade. We're also the last match to play for this round, and so I already know that if I win, I'm playing Mercury 444F, who is the person who beat me way back in my very first tournament 2 years back in the round of 8. So it'd be a rematch. Alright, what have we got going on here? So trashing is hideout. Ducket trashes coppers, but not really. There's draw with Margrave or Ghost Ship, or we've also got Way of the Chameleon, which means Flag Bearer is also technically draw here. How does Way of the Chameleon interact with other stuff? I think Hunting Lodge actually isn't boosted all too much by Chameleon. Like if you Chameleon it, you'll get like 6 coins and discard your hand, which may be situationally useful, but like ends your turn right there. Merchant Guild is probably marginally better than useful because +1 card is a little bit better than +1 coin, but not super significant. And Oasis is basically no different. So what about Guildhall? Is Guildhall significant here? I feel like Guildhall's probably not going to be relevant, at least for a while. You want stockpiles and ducats and relic, but you also really want the $5 action cards. And getting some coffers off of buying a few treasures, which you're not going to buy like a huge number of, is not going to be super important. Maybe later in the game, I'm not sure if this is going a Merchant Guildy direction, but if it does, well then you might be buying a bunch of coffers to power Merchant Guild, and then having Guildhall is functional like having 1 extra Merchant Guild in play, but easier to get. That might become relevant, but I don't think it's important early. I'm also unsure of how important these attacks are going to be. Ghost Ship and Margaret are both nasty attacks, but they're also both somewhat countered by Hunting Lodge. In fact, I think Ghost Ship, I'm going to rule out just on the face of it, because it has a big risk of being helpful with Hunting Lodge, where you top deck your best card, then discard the rest with Hunting Lodge, and now you're getting a new 5-card hand that gets like 1 card that you cherry picked inside of it. Margrave might still be like painful. Because one of the points I think of relevance about Margrave here is with Way of the Chameleon, it's also pretty good payload. Like even if you're doing like draw to X Hunting Lodge things, you could play Margrave as Chameleon for like +3 coins, +1 buy, which is still not bad. So I think you want to thin, so you want some hideouts. Hunting Lodge looks like a really important card. And then I'm not sure to what degree the payload is like Margrave, Merchant Guild, and whatnot. So for the opening, so they've opened Hideout. I could consider that. Doesn't seem great at hitting 5, but like you can open Stockpile and you probably get to 5 on your Stockpile turn. The other consideration could be opening Flag Bearer, which, I don't know, Flag Bearer on turn 1 is often mediocre, but let me think about it. It's a little better here than usual because of the Chameleon synergy. It's like opening a moat instead of a Terminal Silver. So you buy Flag Bearer, you draw 6 cards turn 2. Ideally you draw the Flag Bearer and then you hit 5, and that's wonderful. But most likely I think you hit 4. Then you buy a hideout. Then now you've got a shuffle that's got probably like Flag Bearer, 3 coppers, estate in it. And then you draw 1 card from the rest of them. And now you do hit 5. But then it's missing the shuffle. But that might not be so bad. Because then I think you play the hideout turn 4 and you trigger a shuffle that's got your Flag Bearer and your 5 in it. Might work out. Let me see if I got that down right. So I got 10 cards on my deck. I buy Flag Bearer. I got 11. I see 6 of my hand. There's 5 left down there. I buy another card. I draw 5 of those plus one of the 7 cards I would now have in my deck. So that triggers a shuffle only if they don't buy back the flag bearer. And so do I think that they're likely to not buy flag bearer turn 3? I think I'll do it. At the very least, them having to buy flag is a little bit awkward. I'm very unsure about this. It could just be that the safer play is just to take the hideout. I can also just draw with this. I'm pretty likely to hit 5 if I draw with this flag bearer, and then I do trigger a shuffle either way. But I am going to get to draw. So if I just play it for coins, I'm definitely hitting 5, and then I'm exactly triggering a shuffle next turn. I could draw here, which is pretty darn likely to get me to 5, right? Half of those cards are coppers. And then I'm drawing further into the shuffle. I could put something better in there. So they had a bad turn 3, which is good for me. And they're going to have a lot of money on turn 4, though. Probably 7, which, I don't know, they'll probably buy like flag bearer stockpile or something. I think I'll draw here. All right, that was a pretty good draw. And what 5 do we want? The awkward part is there's a decent chance that it collides with my flag bearer, and that makes some of these terminals maybe sub-ideal. But I could also draw it in the top half here with the hideout, and that'd be pretty fine. I think it's worth going for Margrave just because Margrave's so powerful. Okay, so we don't see either Margrave or flag bearer in the turn 4 hand, which is what I really would have wanted. I can still draw it here. No. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So that means I have terminal collision, but that's not the end of the world. And I think now just hideout. Next turn my hand is going to be 3 coppers, estate, flag bearer, Margrave, and I'll probably chameleon the Margrave, and I'll have 6 and buy like 2 stockpiles or something. Maybe I'll just buy a hunting lodge there. I could buy a stockpile now. How much do I even care about the stockpiles, honestly? I think I really value thinning because I think thinning will be helpful with the draw to X plans. Oh, that's not a pleasant shuffle for them to have triggered. Could be worse though. Could surely be worse. But my Margaret's gonna miss the shuffle. Did they not even find their stockpiles at turn 5? That's pretty sad for them. I mean, happy for me. So I could play this play this normally, which gets me through this shuffle that's, it's not amazing. It's got 2 hideouts in there, but nothing else of significance. But it means I probably don't hit 5, or I just chameleon it and guarantee that I hit 5 and have like a weaker next turn. Like if I miss 4, or if I miss 5, I probably still hit 4, and then I buy flag bearer back. I think I'm fine just chameleoning it, right? The flag's not like super important at this point. Now that we got Margraves, it'll be cycling, but it's not really giving you like a genuine increase in hand size anymore. Because even if you have 6 at the start of your turn, you just discard back down with Margrave. I'm not sure where I stand. I think my shuffles have been all right. And they look like they had a weak turn 3, so I'm hoping I have a little bit of a lead. They're player 1 though, so that's the natural reason to be skeptical of that conclusion. So I hope my other hideout is the top of these 2 cards, and I get to trash 2. No such luck. I guess I'm taking the flag back. It is a draw card after all, so can't be too bad for my deck. I got 3 villages in there. I can support the flag bearer even with the moat. That's not so bad for my deck. The stockpile is also another reasonable consideration. This is too many of my good cards. I don't want to see this many because I have to discard something good. So those bottom 8 cards, I'm wanting to think about like keeping Hideout, Hunting Lodge, Margrave, and just playing the Hideout blind and hoping to trash a bad card. I think that's pretty likely. So I've got a Flag Bear down there, which like, I mean, maybe that's a good thing to trash if they buy Flag here. But it wouldn't be the end of the world to lose that. And I got a Hideout down there, which I kind of value. But I think I've got like a 3/4 shot here of having a great turn if I just take the risk and play this Hideout. Because I'm pretty sure 6 of these 8 cards are junk. And this lets me Chameleon the Margrave and then play the Hunting Lodge, which I could play for 6 coins. I guess I could consider that option, but I'll probably just play for draw anyway because I want to get through this 8 cards of junk. So I've got more Hideouts. We have the same number of Margraves. I already got a Hunting Lodge. They do have a stockpile, which is of relevance. Come on. Hideout, please. Pretty please. Thank you. Yes, I got one more Hideout down there. I think if I just draw normally and this creates like a nice clean shuffle, I don't know exactly what number I hit, but that seems more useful than taking a higher amount of money. I don't think I want to trigger this at all. I'm pretty sure I really don't. I've also got to be kind of careful with my clicking because I'm pretty sure Sangatsu is not very forgiving with his undos. It's a shame because I have a mouse that is somewhat unwieldy at the moment. I ordered one from Amazon recently, but they sent it out to California to an address that I entered like one time ever, and apparently is still my default address. And so I got to order a new one. I'm still stuck with this bad one. In the meantime, what am I buying here? So probably the $3 buy is just a stockpile now. I'm still not sure exactly how much I do care about stockpiles. Like, they're not amazing with the Hunting Lodges or anything. But it is like, it's stockpile. It's a good card. I could also consider Oasis. Maybe does better with the Hunting Lodge plan. And I probably do want more plus buy soon. Maybe that's taking Merchant Guild already and getting started on the like coffer plan. I could do Guildhall stockpile. I was bad talking Guildhall, but like if I plan on adding a Merchant Guild shortly thereafter, I could do that. I think I'm gonna say stockpile Hunting Lodge. Final answer. It feels like this is a weird time to try testing out a stockpile skip strategy when you buy it like 95% of the time. Still seriously thinking about Guildhall, to be perfectly honest. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take Guildhall. Like I think my plan is gonna be pretty soon to just add some merchant guilds, and that will involve regularly buying a few coppers, feeding them to Hideout anyway. And so I think the Guildhall will pay dividends. And I want a lot of Hunting Lodges, I think. Like these attack cards are a risk. I don't know if I'll ever add Ghost Ship, or if not, there's still Margrave. But like if you don't find a Hunting Lodge early on, your turn's going to suck a lot. And if you do have a Hunting Lodge in your starting hand, your turn's going to be amazing. And so I really want to maximize the chance that I have at least one Hunting Lodge in my starting hand. Plus, draw to X decks, I think, are just kind of naturally finicky, where you have this risk that they clump up. Like, you find all of the Hunting Lodges in one hand and then all the terminal stuff in another. All right, let me think about this. I'm considering the same strategy of discard down to Margrave, Hideout, Hunting Lodge. I have already seen my Flag Bearer, my Stockpile. Those bottom 3 cards, ooh. Yeah, I believe those bottom 3 cards include a Hideout and a second Hunting Lodge. So I think I'm probably, I don't know exactly what I'm discarding down to. I don't think I'm playing the Hideout blind here. Maybe I keep Hideout Margrave Curse and then play Hideout and then there's like a 1/3 chance I draw the Hunting Lodge immediately, which is great, and if not, I just draw with Margrave normally. I think that works out. That also puts another Hunting Lodge down in that shuffle, which I think is probably a good place for it. He looks thinner. Am I wrong about that? He's trashed. Copper, copper, copper. Estate. What is that? Penultimate card. Oh, I think it's been trashing coppers more aggressively than I have. I've been targeting these estates. That might have been a better plan. I'm not sure. And then what did he buy last turn? Stockpile, and he bought the flag back. Again, like I'd like to have the flag back. I could consider trashing flag bearer here, but I think it's not the most important priority. Just given the nature of the discard attacks in this kingdom. That's a pretty good draw. Discard and draw. That part wasn't amazing. But what you gonna do? All right, so now I think flag bearer merchant guild. Could be one more Hunting Lodge before I do the merchant guild stuff. I think one more Hunting Lodge is safer. I don't want to take any big risks here. And again, I've got worrisomely many of my good cards in my starting hand here. I don't want to have this many good cards because I need to get back around to my good cards if I am forced to discard them. And I'm confident I'm going to get Margrave attacked. So what do I discard down to? Definitely keeping a Hunting Lodge. And I think it's really darn important to me to get back around to my Margrave if I can. Maybe that just means keeping 2 Hunting Lodges and the Margrave, and I'll play Margrave for Chameleon and then pitch. And that just guarantees that I get the Margrave attack in, even if I don't get to do like everything else this turn. I think that's probably the best plan here. And he's ahead on these stockpiles. I haven't played mine yet. Or no, I played it the once, right? Yeah, I played one stockpile. So he's actually not as ahead as I thought. That was just incorrect. Don't discard. That would be very bad. I think I'm ahead on villages, which is good. Like I've got 3 of the 4 Hunting Lodges, which is nice for reliability. But he hasn't dudded yet, so it's not like that's actually had material gains. Chameleon. Ooh, well, I guess my turn's stopping here. Problem is my deck's still kind of thick, and I should fix that. What are those bottom cards? My other stockpile is not down there. There's a Hunting Lodge down there. I don't want to discard it. Okay. So I could buy probably just stockpile Flag Bearer Hunting Lodge. These decks are going to be weirdly replete with flag bearers. I could consider a 3rd hideout if I just wanted to finish trashing. I like the idea of taking the flag back though. Please, dud. He only has 1 Hunting Lodge, right? Am I just wrong about that? He's just got the 1 Hunting Lodge and he's finding it on top every single time. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess it's an upside of having a thin deck, but that's still relatively lucky, I think. I've got more of the good cards, but I've also got more of the bad cards. If I can fix this problem of having junk in my deck without dudding, I think I'll be ahead. But I think I'm running a real risk still of these junk cards are meaning I don't get like the full value of my deck every turn. And again here, I think I'm gonna oh, that is a lot of my Hunting Lodges. I think I'm gonna discard down again to Margrave and 2 Hunting Lodges. I don't like that though. Good thing I've got 4 hunting lodges. So, should be fine in the end, I would think. Piles are going to run relatively fast. Like, Flagbear is probably going to empty. Stockpile will probably empty. And then he's going to have to buy some more hunting lodges at some point. And so, got to be very cognizant of piles. I still really want to get a Merchant Guild in my deck. I thought I was going to do that a few turns back, and I haven't even done it now, 3 turns since I contemplated it. But my deck has not quite come together as quickly as I wanted it to. And it feels wrong to add the payload card rather than the actions in the draw if I'm not yet at a state of deck control. I've trashed 6. It's not a bad number. He's already trashed 10 cards, so he's really thin. It's a lot of stockpiles you got there. Yeah, piles are awful though. I gotta be careful. Boy, I just need to trash my junk, and that is going to be a difficulty. He's probably in a yeah. As I was about to say, he's probably in a good position to add a Merchant Guild. He did, in fact, add a Merchant Guild. All right, please don't draw a Hunting Lodge. Thank you. It's always really sad when like the key card you're looking for with your Hunting Lodge is the one that it draws before pitching. So how do I do this? Like I could draw with this Flag Bearer. I could once again contemplate playing the Hideout blind. What are these bottom 4 cards? I discarded to his Margrave attack. 2 coppers, a Flag Bearer, a Hunting Lodge. I think this is like stockpile, hideout, estate. So I think the risk of hitting a thing I don't want to trash is probably too high. So we're going to chameleon that. Or one of those is wrong, but whatever. I'm not sure which one. And here, I think I just play this for money and then chameleon it. Is that right? I got to figure this out again. So my discard pile has 2 coppers, Flag Bearer, Hunting Lodge. Yeah, this can't be bad to trigger because it's got a Hunting Lodge down there. So it should be A-okay. Yeah, this is fine. Did not find all my stockpiles. That's a little bit sad. Do I even take them back? I'm still not sure about these stockpiles. I probably do. I mean, it's stockpile. So that leaves me with 14, maybe like 2 Merchant Guilds and a Hideout. And that will get me clean of all the remaining coppers, hopefully. How sure am I that I even want the stockpiles? I mean, they're a lot of money, but they also like don't jive with the draw to X plans very well. It's also a lot of buys. I think I'm going to do it anyway. This is a fine starting hand. Any hand with a Hunting Lodge in it is like a pretty fine starting hand. I really need him to dud, but I just don't think it's likely. If he was going to dud, it was going to be a little bit of a dud. Having to trash a stockpile to save the turn is dud-ish in my books at the very least. I was going to say if he was going to dud, it was going to happen when he still only had the singular Hunting Lodge. And now he's got 2. That's still, running a yeah, oh wow, that's a full dud. All of a sudden I think I'm in a very good position. But yeah, I have more of the Hunting Lodges, and so my odds of dudding I think were lower even with more junk. I had an evasive backup plan for this match, but maybe I won't have to use it after all. That's bold. That is a very bold move there, Mr. Sangatsu. So if nothing else, he has a ton of money in his deck. So I do have to be careful about lowering piles, because I don't think I can pile out this turn. That's sad. Didn't really want to pitch that Margrave just yet. But what can you do? I think I'm going to play this for Chameleon. I'm missing out on 1 coin doing that since I'm just going to pitch this hand anyway. But it guarantees that when I play this Hunting Lodge, it's going to discard those stockpiles down to the discard instead of back into the shuffle that it triggers. God dang it. Okay, well, this is fine. I think, right? I really don't want to draw the Margrave. What are those bottom 3 cards? It's got an estate in it, I know, because I got 1 victory point. Not my coppers. I think there's a stockpile down there. I'd really like to just pitch here and then play the Margrave for money if I draw back to it. I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna do this. Okay, time to contemplate. It's really hard to calculate with any degree of accuracy how much money his deck can do because of the indeterminacy of draw versus money, right? Like with really good shuffles, you can play a lot of your actions for the coins, like Flag Bearer and the Margrave and whatnot, and very few for draw if you like line up the Hunting Lodge, right? And with mediocre shuffles, maybe you have to draw with some of those to kick things off. So I really can't say exactly how much he's going to have. Let me just check real fast for a win. The only one I've got the buys for would be Hunting Lodge Flag Bearer, and that costs a good deal more than I have. Oh, Hideout Flag Bearer is cheaper. That's 28. That's also more than I have, unfortunately. So, how much money do I think he's probably got? There's 4 stockpiles on my mat, 0 on his mat, 1 in the trash. So he's got 5 stockpiles. That's 15 money right there. He bought a copper at some point. Yeah, he bought a copper. So he's got like 2 coppers in his deck, 17 money. He's got like the 1 merchant guild. And then he's got a bunch of like Margrave Flag Bearer-y stuff that he can play for money. I think he probably cannot do the amount necessary to pile those things, but I probably want to take a province just in the name of caution. So Flag Bearer Hideout costs 28 money to pile. If I bought 1 Hunting Lodge, then Flag Bearer Hunting Lodge would cost 27 money to pile. I think lowering the amount of money it costs to pile by 1 is probably worth it if it gives me 1 more lodge and reduces my risk of dudding. So I think I'm going to take a Hunting Lodge. So maybe I do like Hunting Lodge, double province, and some coppers for the coffers, because I get 3 coffers for every copper I buy. I could buy like 3 coppers even. Doesn't really hurt my deck because I mean the hideouts can trash it, or 2 really because they can trash an estate as well. I could be maybe a little bit more aggressive and make sure I have enough money to pile out the following turn, because I won't have the stockpiles coming in, so I do have to rely a bit on the merchant guild. So maybe I just do 1 province. So I do 1 province, 1 Hunting Lodge. That leaves me with 8 money to work with. I could spend 1 coffer and buy like 3 oases, which are minimally intrusive for this deck, I think. And then buy some number of coppers. That sounds pretty good. I don't think you can beat that. Sure hope I'm not wrong. 1, 2. Lowering oases to 7 doesn't really affect things because that's still more expensive than the other piles available. Okay. Well, this is not an amazing hand, but I'll get to see at least 3 more cards at a minimum, because Oasis will draw 2 and his Margrave will draw me 2, or will draw me 1. So, still could be fine. A little bit worrisome, of course, because yeah, the way he gets back in this is if I dudded. I'd be very sad about that. That's not the card I wanted to see. All of a sudden, this is not good. I think it's best for me to leave what on top? 2 oases for sure. And then if I draw I think I've so like if I draw Hunting Lodge, I'm safe. If I don't draw Hunting Lodge, I'm in hot water. I think the other thing that could potentially save me is if I drew a hideout. So I think I would want to leave a flag bearer, because if I draw a hideout, I can play the hideout and then play the flag bearer to draw on. But all of a sudden, I'm a little bit worried. I put a lot of Hunting Lodges in this deck. I got 5 to his 2, so I don't deserve to dud here. I played cautiously. The alternative proposition, I think, was to leave the flag bearer, like discard the flag bearer, and then keep the merchant guild, which means I can add a minimum double province maybe to keep myself a little bit safe. That could have been better. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure how safe double province is if he gets, like, 2 full turns. And that still lets me do single province, I guess, at the very least, which I will certainly do if I dud. So in the 16 cards, I got 5 hideouts. Not 5 hideouts. I got 5 Hunting Lodges, which is what I really want to find. And I've got, like, 3 hideouts, which give me, like, a little bit more draw into that deck. So my odds of dudding are, I don't know. They're substantial. They're substantial, but my odds of not dudding are also, I think, pretty decent. 2 shots to draw 1 of 5 cards is what? Mine are probably like a little bit below 50%. When you factor in the, like, hideout aspect of it. But just in case, like I said, if I lose this, I do have a backup plan. You'll notice on the ban list, I've actually unbanned Colonnade, and I put March on my ban list. So, if I end up losing these games, I can still petition the tournament committee and say, well, look, Sangatsu didn't have any right to play these games. March was banned. He shouldn't have been able to participate in any of these. And, I'm sure some people will be like, Nails, that joke doesn't translate right. That's, like, not the right sense of March. The March card is clearly not referring to, like, Sangatsu the month. It's referring to the troops. And to those people, I'd say, look at the art. Look closely at the March art. Are they marching? No, they're standing still. So that reading of March is right out. But they look kind of stern and, worried. And why might a Roman legion be worried? Well, because any good Roman knows that you beware the Ides of March, the month. And so I think this art, the bleakness, the consternation, suggests that they are worried about the month of March. And therefore it does, in fact, apply. And so, pretty sure Sangatsu, by participating in this game, is violating the rules, because the ban lists are to be honored. He's thinking hard here, but, that makes sense. This is a difficult position. Like I said, there's a lot of really highly indeterminate math, a lot of possible buys. The thing that's worst for me, I think, is if he tries to play for a dud, because I'm likely to actually dud. And that would probably just mean lowering the flag and Hunting Lodge pile a bit, which, if I do have a full turn, would just lead to an easy pile out. But means if I don't have a full turn, then he can easily pile and beat my score. A lot rides on what these next 2 cards are. Ooh, I found a third easy backup plan. I just pressed the Make Sangatsu Resign button. Simple win. I wish there was a button to, like, dismiss the prompt. Like, remind me in 3 minutes if I still want to make Sangatsu Resign, because it is kind of obtrusive. It's up in my face. Now I can't see the lovely flag bearer or hideout art. So between the 2 of us, I believe I have borne the flag for more total turns. And having done more of the flag bearing, I think that makes me the flag bearer and him merely the flag bearer. Food for thought. I should probably be thinking about this game, but I'm not sure what else to think about. Like, my plans just hinge a lot on whether I dud or not. I've already figured out how I want to play the first 2 cards of this turn. And then probably if I draw my deck, I win. I've got a lot of coffers. And probably if I don't, I'm in a lot of hot water. Speaking of hot water, an oasis seems like a place that would carry a lot of hot water. Water I hold out in the desert. So either my hot water comes through for me here, or I end up in hot water. It's not to make a move already. My ability to stay focused on this game is rapidly diminishing. No, I get it though. It's not like an unreasonable place to think a while. I thought a while, I think, on some of those earlier turns. And even if this goes long, it can't be worse than the Mercury versus Kazumaru match. That one, it started at like 10 p.m. my time, and I think ended at like 11 a.m. the next day. Now that was with they took like a 4-hour break in the middle, but that still was like over a 7-hour match. I think it took 7 games. I don't remember exactly. It was either 6 or 7 games, but they were playing like over an hour per game, which is a humongous amount of time. This is about to be a 45-minute game already, though. And if this is not just like the best, most immaculate set of buys I've ever seen, I'm going to be so disappointed in you. At the 8-minute mark, you should get like a Make Sangatsu Double Resign button. And you claim that and you win the first 2 games of the match. That would be really helpful right about now. Sangatsu, more like Sanmatsu, am I right? I've long since run out of informative things to say. At this point, I think I've more or less run out of things to say entirely. To anyone listening, would you like to know the nutritional facts on this can of V8? Each serving contains 45 calories, 100% of your vitamin E, 200% of your daily dosage of vitamin C, only 2% calcium, that's weak, 2 grams of protein, 1 gram of dietary fiber, 21% of your daily value of sodium. That's a pretty good amount of sodium. Did something happen? He spent 4 coffers. That's progress. We're making progress. Okay. I think... Ooh. That was an interesting play there. That's a lot of coppers. I think that's probably good for me because he didn't lower piles much. Did he lower piles at all? He didn't lower piles at all, did he? No, he didn't. So even if I dud, he might not be able to pile out next turn. But we're not going to think that way. We're going to draw a hunting lodge right now. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, hunting lodge, I missed you. Okay, so I think I'm going to play both of these oases and then pitch. I mean, 1 coin is 1 coin. Oh, goodbye, Margrave. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. No, this is fine because I would have had to pitch Margrave anyway with my hunting lodge. And I think I play this one first. Okay. This draw hasn't been perfect, but like it's about as good as I can, I think, reasonably ask for. Discard here. Okay. Do I just not have that many buys? Oh yeah, all those buys are coming from stockpiles. Kind of forgot that crucial detail. But this does mean I could do the nifty little hunting lodge for money trick now, right? I draw with flag, play Margrave, and then chameleon the hunting lodge and get like 6 money out of it. That's kind of cool, right? Bam. Bam. Discard and draw 5. But don't actually draw 5. Give me 5 coins instead. Okay. Alright, now my turn to think. Alright. In the interest of fairness, I think I should take at least like 10 minutes on this. So he's put all of his stockpiles down. I put all of my stockpiles down. He has 2 Margraves and 1 merchant guild. I have 2 merchant guilds and 1 Margrave. So he only has 4 total buys. Is that right, or am I missing something? I'm pretty sure I'm correct about that. So, if I were to, and I don't have. I was gonna say I'll just like quadruple province here, and he can't beat that. But that requires money, and I don't have that much money. If I triple province, that's probably losing, right? So if I take 3 provinces, I'm up to what, 25 points, and then yeah, he could easily do like double province, double duchy, or something. I feel like his deck cannot do 4 provinces, however, because he's got fewer coffers than I do, fewer lodges than I do. So I could afford to take 1 more province, I think. Although, like, I don't even really need desperately to take the province, because he can't pile anymore. He's lost his pile threat now that those stockpiles are on the map. So I can honestly just like reasonably consider taking no provinces whatsoever. So, like, I could just build more. What if I did like Merchant Guild, not Merchant Guild, Hunting Lodge, Margrave, something. Buy 2 ducats for some plus buy, maybe. I think I might want 1 more province anyway, just because buys are limited. I don't want to be in the position of having to catch up from a province deficit with duchies in a limited buy scenario. So there's some argument for taking province while the provinces are still available. I could do like province, ducat, lodge, copper. That feels good, right? I'm threatening quad that way. Let me just think about this. What's his best case scenario for beating that? If I just take 1 province, I'm at 13, he's at 12. And then if he like does triple or something, triple seems well within his grasp. I could see him doing triple. Can I beat triple then? I'd have to do province, 4 duchies. And I would have just enough buys for that. So maybe instead of lodge, maybe I do province, Margrave, ducat, copper. And that gives me 1 more buy to work with. And then if he does like triple and duchy, I think I have enough buys to still beat that. I can also shell out more coins, can't I? Like, I'm about to get, I played 2 hideouts, I'm got 4 buys. I'm gonna get 8 coffers back. Pull a 9th coffer, I guess, if I buy the ducat. So I could probably afford to spend a few coffers if that's gonna help anything. I'm not sure if it is though. Like, copper is fine. I need something to draft my hideout. I guess I could do province, Margrave, and double ducat to give more buys, or province, lodge, double ducat, which also gives more buys. Province, ducat, lodge, ducat. That sounds good, right? I was buying lots of lodges. I just really do not want a dud. Seems like an important consideration. And he's only got 4 buys, so this is not opening up a pile out. Where the hell are my hunting lodges? This is not so bad, though. I'm going to see 1 card from his Margrave, 1 card from my hideout draw, 2 more cards from Flag Bearer. So my odds of dudding are still not super duper high, I don't think. So I'd rather have 2 hideouts in hand and a Flag Bearer, or 2 flags and a hideout. I think hideouts are the better card to have multiple stuff, right? I've got so many hunting lodges. I don't deserve to have this much stress put upon me by my starting hand. You know, even if it works out in the end, like it did last turn, this is just, it's, whew, the pressure. I sure hope I haven't botched this somehow, but I think I'm in a good spot. I could be wrong about his money situation. If I am, then I'm in a bad position. But he's just got like hella coppers, right? He bought. a lot of coppers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 4. Oh no, that's not as many coppers as I thought it was. It looks like twice as many because the buy and the gain are separated a bit. Hello there, flag bearer. Not flag bearer. You've been there. Hello there, hunting lodge. Does it matter which is a discard? Probably not too much. He bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coppers. That's still a pretty big number of coppers. I don't think these remaining cards are like all that impactful. He's just going to triple here. And I said, you know, like if my deck runs properly, I think I should be able to beat triple, right? I need to get province to get me to 19 and then 4 duchies. So I need to get 5 buys. I've got more than enough money to buy it if I get that. Literally, I don't need to spend any of my money. It's all in coffers. So I just need to find 5 plus buy cards. Do I just pitch this, or do I try to draw a little bit and then pitch? I think drawing is better than just pitching it. There's a plus buy card. All right, I'm at 2 buys. We're getting places. So I just need to find my merchant guilds and one of my ducats, or vice versa. My ducats and one of my merchant guilds. And I'm thinking that is pretty likely at the moment. There's a ducat, which I might actually just have to pitch now and draw back to. Alright, this should be a win, right? I'm going to click through carefully just in case, but I do believe this should just be a win. Okay, so he said province and 4 duchies is 18 points, which is enough. That requires 5 buys and 28 money. I think this all checks out a-okay. End actions, autoplay treasures, play all the coffers, click all the things. With a duchy to spare. Okay. Game 1. 1 is player 2. That's good news. This looks interesting. So you got Trashing with Moneylender and Remodel. Got some classic base set cards here, plus Merchant. Lost City's great draw. Lurker and Necromancer, I find, interact in kind of a weird way. So like on the one hand, Lurker lets you put stuff in the trash, which is nifty, because that makes Necromancer better. Like one thing you could do is like you play a Lurker, trash a Lost City, play your Necromancer as the Lost City, then play another Lurker and yank the Lost City right back out of the trash. That's fun. On the other hand, Lurker steals the zombies. And then that's kind of annoying because then like you might be in a situation where your Necromancer can play nothing. So you like open Lurker, take the zombies out, and like shut down their Necromancer or something. So awkward interplay there. How good is Charm? Charm lets you gain Lost Cities, which might be nice. Horde might be of some relevance. You kind of do want a few golds here because remodeling golds looks like probably the best payload. I'm not sure how much pillage matters. Like if you play heavily with charms, it might not be hard to pick up a bunch of pillages, but I'm not sure if playing with a lot of charms is in fact the best strategy as compared to like horde and remodel being the main thing. But pillage, you know, could potentially hit them in an annoying way. Devil's Workshop seems very likely worth getting. Imps will be good. That's draw. You can remodel it later as needed. So I feel like it's kind of a straightforward like Lost Cities and Imps draw, and then the payload is less straightforward. I'm not sure the degree to which you play with charms versus hordes, remodels, and whatnot. I think I'm opening Moneylender on the 4. Trashing coppers seems like a good idea. And then I don't know where to go from there. The 3, I mean, it could be a silver. Hitting 5 is like good. I want Lost Cities, but hitting 5 is also not like the key early game priority. Like I also want a lot of these 4s, and so I don't need to open with silver if I don't want to. I could open with Lurker, but I'm not sure how much I value those zombies either. Like I talked about how it can be like a nuisance if they've got Necromancer, but like unless Sangatsu buys Necromancer turn 1, then I'm not sure that Lurker play just to like snag the zombies out of the trash is like super important. I don't think there's any particular synergy here with Zombie Mason. I don't see a good way to line up a top of deck thing. Like once you draw your deck, you could remodel something to something else and then trash it. Interesting. So he's taking a Lurker. That could just signify that he's got a 5/2 and was contemplating whether Lurker is better than nothing. If he has the 4/3, I'll be a little bit surprised because I think the Lurker's not worth it. How sure am I of that? I mean, if left uncontested, the Lurker can get you free Lost Cities. But, like, it's also easy to pick up a Lurker in the second shuffle. You know, I'm talking myself into Lurker. Is this maybe it's just peer pressure? Maybe I saw him buy it, and I'm like, well, now I have to get it because he got it. Maybe he's got a point. Like silver is good; it'll help me get 5. That's a good argument for it. But I'm not sure about this. Silver Lurker, silver Lurker. Just compromise him by merchant. So I guess if I don't buy the Lurker on the first shuffle, and I buy the silver, am I buying Lurker on the second shuffle? Or am I just letting him get a Lost City out of it? I might just be letting him get a Lost City out of it and saying, well, I'm probably going to buy more Lost Cities than you are. And you're getting that Lost City like kind of down the road. I'm going to open a silver. 5 here is not super clear to me. Lost City is probably the right answer. Like draw is draw. It lets me justify getting a remodel. But like charm is good too. I mean, it could also be like remodel or Devil's Workshop already, but I think I'm gonna buy that turn 4. So we'll see whether he gets greedy and just puts a Lost City in the trash, or whether he just like snags a zombie. Both seem like possibilities. The zombies aren't nothing. Like the zombie spy is a little bit of sifting, but he goes for the Lost City. Fair enough. I silver bottom decked, but I think that's fine. I don't think I need 2 Lost Cities. So he's going for the Necro Lurker stuff already. That is really fun. I do enjoy Necromancer Lurker. It's a fun deck to build. I think I want Remodel more imminently though, and then I'll get those at a later date. I'll take a Lurker here now, I guess. He's going to get that Lost City though before I get a chance to. But he's going to draw me a card. I said he's going to draw me a card. There's no way you're not taking the Lost City back out of the trash, right? Oh, I guess he might have a Necromancer in hand, so maybe he's contemplating trashing Lurker and then playing Necro as Lurker to gain Lost City. That's the only like alternative line I would think that makes you contemplate not getting the Lost City immediately. Fascinating. That seems incredibly risky, right? Oh, he has 2 Lurkers. I guess I missed that important detail. So it's only a teeny bit risky. Like he'll probably get to lurk that Lost City with his other Lurker before I do. But there's still some chance. Like he could bottom deck it and I could draw my Lurker on the top. But it's like a reasonable risk for him to take, I think. And I still just want to buy more Lost Cities more than anything. They're good cards. Yeah. So I see the rationale. He had a Necro and a Lurker down there. This lets him do the thing I was discussing where you play the Necromancer first as Lost City and then yank it back out. I'm not sure where I stand. Like the Lurker thing's worked out pretty well for him, but at the same time, like I've got 2 Lost Cities still to his 1. I do want to get a Necromancer soon. Although I think maybe the higher priority is still Devil's Workshop and then Necro on the next shuffle. At some point I want Charm, but I think I'm just going to keep clicking Lost Cities until the cows come home. Well, at least until the cows are like on their way home. Like, for a little bit longer. I actually am gonna be annoyed when he gains this Lost City out of the trash because I was planning on playing my lurkers before playing the Lost City to put a Lost City into my shuffle, and now I won't be able to. So like this draw is actually not even gonna be convenient for me. So where is this going? The lurkers are gonna mean pile out threats are really really big. The Lost City pile is gonna empty. The lurker pile is like low-ish. Remodel can also make pile threats pretty big. So you might want to green a little bit on the sooner side. I'm still not sure. I think I want to play more towards the like buy a horde, buy a province, then remodel the gold that I gained in the province. Something like that I think is my main goal for greening. But like you could consider the like charms and a bunch of duchies, maybe. He's really catching up on Lost Cities, right? Isn't he? Is he ahead on Lost Cities, in fact? I think he's ahead. He played 2 Lost Cities. He gained a Lost City. So he's got... There's still one in the trash, though, right? Yeah, so it's 3 each. But he left one in the trash. So I think... Yeah, so he trashed the Lost City with his lurker, I think planning to draw 2. I'm not sure how big of a risk that was for him, but it was like something of a risk, and it didn't pay off, because now I get that Lost City. I mean, granted, it's really not like a huge benefit for me, because I could have gotten Lost City anyway. What this really means, I guess, is that like I get a zombie if I want one, which I probably do. I do want a Devil's Workshop. Oh, I have a Devil's Workshop. I want a Necromancer. I knew I wanted the 4s, and I forgot which one I'd already gotten. I could take the Horde now, though, and already start looking towards greening. Zombie Apprentice is probably the more convenient one for me. How sure am I that I actually want these? Mason's also not bad. I think I'll take Apprentice and we'll see if that does things. And how sure am I that it's Horde time? I did say a moment ago I just wanted to keep clicking Lost Cities, and that might still be better. It's probably still Lost City time, right? I don't want to lose that split. I don't think the piles are low enough that I need to green. And I think the Horde will not be too hard to get just off of remodel. Like, for example, once this Moneylender runs its course, I could remodel it up into a Horde. This play at the very least secures me that I've got a 5-5 split on the Lost Cities, because now I've got 5. He's got 4, and we'll probably gain that last one. I'd be a bit surprised if he doesn't. He does have 1 imp already, which I do not. He's also got a charm. Charming. So now I could draw my Zombie Apprentice. I think that's probably worth trashing a lurker over, right? If the lurker does nice stuff, I could gain a Necro if I wanted to. There's also not a whole lot of things in the trash at the moment for the Necro to play. I've got a bunch of Lost Cities down here, don't I? Like, literally half of those are Lost Cities. So I'm very likely to draw back again. So something I could do maybe is, like, Apprentice the Moneylender, draw, remodel Estate into Necromancer, draw that, play the Necromancer, trash a copper using the Moneylender, and then nab the Moneylender back out of the trash, and maybe even also play it and trash 2 coppers. That sounds cool, right? That only uses 1 lurker. Do I even need to use the other one at that point? Probably not. But so I could. If I trash a lurker, then it doesn't work out. So I trash a lurker, I could regain the lurker with the lurker, but then I couldn't do anything productive with it. Well, so I could trash lurker, regain lurker with lurker, trash Moneylender into Horde, draw the Horde, regain the Moneylender with the second lurker. I think I prefer the Moneylender line. So now, I said I could regain the moneylender and trash the second copper with it if I wanted to. The alternative line I'm considering is just gaining a remodel and then killing this last estate, which I couldn't then like redraw and play or anything. But it puts a remodel in my deck. Then I buy a horde, and then next turn I'm set up to start greening, and we'll figure out if this horde plan is better than. Oh, he got a pillage, you asshole! You're gonna pillage me? I could pillage him first, show him his boss. Is that how we're gonna play? All right, well, sure. I don't know if this is strategic. This is preemptive self-defense is what this is. I'll take the pillage now, the horde now. I'll take the horde. I sure hope I made you dud. That's what you get for trying to pillage me. You jerk, you did it anyway. Yeah, so I'm far from guaranteed to draw here. Losing that Lost City hurts a bit. I've only got the one imp to his two. I've never got these spoils in my deck. Yeah, I could dud here. But I think this is at least going to cause him not to get all the way through his deck, I hope. I did discard a Lost City. What's the trashing situation look like? I trashed 5 coppers, 2 estates. Do you only trash 3 coppers? And also 2 estates. Did he open the moneylender? Oh, he opened the remodel. That's why he's trashed fewer coppers. But he's going to catch up here. He's just trashed 2 of them. More lurkers. Intriguing. So the trash still has a pillage in it, which I should probably gain if I find my lurker. I really don't want the spoils. I just want to attack. We don't want to remodel our copper after all. What do we want to do? I guess he needed the money for whatever he plans on buying here. Province, maybe? Horde and merchant. He thinks buying merchant's better than turning a copper into a lurker. And maybe it is, I don't know. Oh, that's a nice set of cards to have on top. Thank you. Steph, I know you did that. You're looking out for me. I thoroughly appreciate it when you rig shuffles in my favor. It's really helpful. Okay, well, that's not amazing. I'd prefer not to have done it. Maybe that thank you was a little bit too soon. Well, I mean, you did what you could, Steph. I understand. You gave me 4 lost cities. It's probably on me for not thinning my deck as much as I could have. I understand. I'll learn my lesson from this. I did the problem of not having the pillage back, and so I don't get to attack him again. Maybe that's fine. Turn the estate into something. I'm probably just buying province here. From the trash. Not a whole lot in the trash that makes me want necromancer, so maybe just merchant. Could contemplate second remodel as well. But I think I prefer the non-stop card when my deck's a little bit shaky of quality. Please stop drawing. Please, no further drawing. Absolutely no more drawing. I wonder what this card is on top. Must be like an incredibly median card for him to not be sure that he wants it on top and not be sure that he wants to discard it. What could that be? Maybe it's a pillage. Maybe he's wondering like it's not, maybe it's like a good but terminal card. Moneylender. That's not what I expected it to be. Um, yeah. This is at least not such a bad place for the pillage to hit. I mean, it's not good, but the thing that he's discarding is at least going right back into the shuffle rather than to the bottom of the shuffle. I feel slightly behind. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's just the difference in imps and or that zombie spire or something. Or he trashed his silver and I didn't. But it feels like his deck is doing like slightly more of what it can possibly do in these last few turns compared to mine. And that's not good because some of the things his deck can do include trashing cards. Like just now he trashed a copper. And if he trashes all those cards before I get a chance to trash my cards, well then his deck's probably going to continue doing more of what it could possibly do than mine will. I expect him to province here. Not necessarily because you're being forced to green by piles or anything. But I think like the stuff in the kingdom is sort of no longer looking particularly valuable. Like lost cities are out. You could take merchants, but those aren't like super important. You might buy a merchant here. But like, there's not a whole lot more that really improves your deck. My necromancer doesn't really have any good targets in the trash at the moment. So like if I don't draw a draw card here, what I might do is like have to. Oh well, thanks again, Steph. I love when you put 2 lost cities on top of my deck. It really helps. I was gonna say I might have to like lurk a merchant into the trash so that I could at least play the necro as a cantrip, which I might end up doing anyway. We'll see how the draws here go. This is like I like how this is going. This is how the draw should be. So maybe I mason this other lurker. I kind of want to get that pillage, and I want to play that pillage. I guess I don't want to play that pillage so badly because like the spoils really are kind of a nuisance for my deck. Maybe I really don't want the pillage. I think I'm just gonna lurk or apprentice the lurker to get to the end of my deck. What's down there? There's a lost city down there. There's a province down there. There's something else. Yeah, oh, the Devil Workshop down there. So that's it. Lost City, Province, Devil's Workshop. That's not the most significant cards. But I do want the Devil's Workshop if I can for the imps. So if I were to... I should think about this. There's stuff to be done. I could apprentice the Necromancer, gain the Lurker, draw the Lurker, and or not draw Lurker. Apprentice Necro, gain Pillage, draw it, play it. Get in that attack. I could apprentice Remodel. I kind of want the remodel, but I could necro the. I could play necro as remodel, trash silver into remodel, draw with the lost, gain pillage, draw the lost city, pillage him, remodel a second time. That sounds like pain, right? I'm liking that line. Does that hit 8? Because I do kind of want to buy a province off that line. I have 2 with Horde, 3 with Spoils. Well, if I trash the silver, and then I also trash the gold, I'm not quite hitting 8, am I? I guess a second remodel could just be like turning copper into lurker or something, and then I'll zombie apprentice that later. That's probably fine, right? I could also still just skip the pillage attack if I wanted to and regain remodel. So what if I like necro silver into a necro, lurk the remodel, draw that, trash a copper, trash, yeah, let me undo this play, I think. It does feel a little silly to kill the silver when I got merchants around, but like, whatever. Let's do this first. I get a Necromancer off that, I think. I mean, I could get Moneylender directly, but I think I'd rather get the Necromancer. Now we'll trash a copper. And now I can double province here, which that sounds pretty good. I mean, when you can double province, I was gonna say when you can't double province, you should double province, but like that's actually really far from a general rule. In this kingdom, I think if I can double province, I should double province because there's not much more building to be done. This hand is not amazing. In fact, this hand is probably going to be horrible. Uh-oh. If he pillages me, I'm in for a world of hurt. And he's got a pillage in his deck. He's going to pillage me. Please don't. Have mercy. I didn't pillage you last turn. Let's let bygones be bygones. You can make amends. At the very least, could you just bottom deck your pillage and like not get to it? I'd appreciate that. So like I can draw one card here, I think, if I Necro as a lurker to gain merchant, then Necro as merchant. Maybe if he's feeling real bad, like he plays his pillage, he discards my imp, and then he thinks of that. Maybe he'll just like lurk the lurker out of the trash just to say, nope, you don't get to do that. Because he should know, you know, that I'm going to have 2 lost cities right on top of my deck every single time. And so it makes sense to deny me even a single draw. Don't you dare pillage me. Don't even think about it. Uh-oh. He's trashing merchant. I think that's because he wants to draw on with his other necromancer. Or does he have 2 necromancers? He didn't. Thank you. Now, you know, some people might think, oh, he's not doing that because he bottom decks his pillage. I know that Sangatsu, he has that pillage in hand, and he's just not playing out of the goodness of his heart. You know, he saw me pass up on pillaging him, and he's just returning the favor. I know that's what really happened there. So this could theoretically be triple, right? Like, for example, I remodel something into province, then mason the province, and then buy a province. I think if all goes well, which, you know, is obviously always far from certain, that I could do triple province here. Do I want to play Necromancer now? I think I just don't play anything now. I just waste the action. I think I have enough surplus action to hold out for better targets and a better play order. Okay. So I think this should work, right? I remodel something into province. I buy province. I mason province. I'm not 100% sure that's going to work, but I think it's going to work. This bottom card's a remodel, right? It is. Okay, let's double check. I remodel province into province. I mason province into province. I play the other necromancer as a moneylender, which please still be in the trash. Thank you. I didn't actually check that. Yeah, so this should all work out. Province into province. Mason into province. Moneylend into province. And into actions, play horde, buy province. Gain an imp. Okay, 2-0. That's good. We like that. Whew. Game 3. All right, so looks like pretty clear pirate ship money to me, but let's just consider the other options just in case. So we got Chapel for trashing. We got Ratcatcher for trashing. We got Tragic Hero for trashing itself, sometimes involuntarily. We got villages, and that's the only village, I believe. Yeah. Draw, Haunted Woods, Moat, Tragic Hero, Will-O-Wisp if you get it off of Idle, but like, why would you have Idle? What's Will-O-Wisp going to draw? And then plus buy is Grand Market, Tragic Hero, Forest's Gift, again, if for some reason you had an Idle in your deck. Oh, I forgot to click Start Game before looking at the Kingdom view. Whoopsie daisy. So, where is this going? I don't think Pirate Ship's worth anything. You're going to not have too many treasures in your deck pretty fast, and then you can build up with Grand Markets. So I think relatively quickly, you get thin, you get 6 money, you start buying Grand Markets. I think is the idea, right? And then at some point you add like a Haunted Woods per turn maybe, so you can start doing other stuff with it. Yeah, I think with Chapel around, Tragic Hero looks less significant to me. Like, I don't know, if a few of the cards are a little different, this would look like a very good Kingdom to skip Chapel, where like you don't want a super thin deck because you want to pop your heroes and gain treasures, and then Haunted Woods lets you draw. But I think it's the lack of powerful sub 5s that make me not want to skip Chapel, just because like if you skip it, then what else are you doing? Ratcatcher Silver. It's gonna be Chapel Ratcatcher. It could be Chapel Silver. I think I like Chapel Ratcatcher. And then get like a silver. Ideally, hit 6 off that silver and buy Conquest, and then you're already at 6 money and can buy Grand Market. If not, maybe you do buy 1 Idle, just because like you'd be buying a silver there anyway, and Idle's going to be marginally better than silver. And then silver, Idle, Conquest, trash the rest of your coppers, start buying Grand Market. Something like that seems good. So my ideal draw here for turn 3 is I'm going to have the Chapel, the Ratcatcher, and at least 2 estates in my starting hand. You taking notes on that, right, Steph? Actually, I'd be surprised if Steph was watching. It's probably what, like 3 a.m. or something over in European time. I don't know exactly which time zone he's in. But when the Americans play the Japanese, it is naturally going to be at a time that is inconveniencing to the EU folks. Sorry about that. He's thinking hard about the second buy. We're probably going to have another like lurker scenarios on our hands where I like dismiss something and then he opens it and I have to go back and reconsider. He's going to go like Pirate Ship or something. I'd be like, shit, what did I do wrong? I think I like the Ratcatcher over the silver. Like, you're not hitting a big number next shuffle anyway, so you can get the silver then. Ratcatcher gets you a little bit thinner and makes you a little bit less likely to bottom deck the Chapel. But I mean, the silver does give you some chance of spiking 5, and that's maybe a little bit better. You're going to want a Ratcatcher anyway, I think, because like killing Chapel will eventually be good once it's run its course. And I think the way this Kingdom looks, while there's pretty good draw, I don't think I plan on adding much draw just for a while. Because it feels pretty easy to build up pretty fast by just getting like 6 money and then starting to buy. Oh, he had 5 too. You little cheater. That's not fair. Undo. I mean, like, Idle's only like a little bit better than silver, but like there's some boons that could make Idle substantially better if you roll them early on. Okay, well this is pretty. I didn't get the turn 3 Ratcatcher play, but like hitting 5 off of a Ratcatcher Chapel open is still pretty good. He also had a pretty good shuffle here, though. Gets the Chapel and Sun's Gift. Maybe see the Chapel again. Yeah, I think this is just Idle for me, right? Like, it's just... I don't think my game plan has changed. I just want to add a few silvers and Idle's fancy silver. Wow, yeah. You played Idle turn 3 and turn 4. That's kind of nifty. That's also pretty good. River's Gift seems good here. So I like my shuffle. I'm not unhappy about it, but I like his shuffle too. So I don't know where I stand. My guess is I'm probably behind, mostly because player 1 advantage is a thing. But I think we both had pretty good shuffles here. And buys. So down there is an idol, 2 coppers. So how much do I trash? Like, I kind of want to add a second silver now, so I could trash just the estate, but I think that's still a little bit too thick for my tastes. If I trash all of it, that's a little bit too thin, isn't it? Tricky. So what if I trash all but 1 copper? Then my starting hand is going to be idol, 2 coppers, chapel. No, idle 3 coppers, chapel. And then that gives me a decent chance, right, of hitting 6. Because I could get the either the like money boons, which haven't shown up yet, so that's still only 20% chance of hitting 6. I could get Mountain's Gift, which would actually be good here. I guess if I got Sky's Gift, I would take it, but that wouldn't be like super significant. Yeah, I still think I like trashing all but 1. And we're going to hope for a good boon here. I think I've got pretty good odds of getting a good boon. Oh, that's a bad boon. That's the really bad boon. I'm glad he got that out of the way. Because, like, Wind's Gift, once you've drawn your deck, is just like a hex that makes you discard 2 cards. So I think I'd call the Ratcatcher now and trash the Chapel. It'll take me a while to get rid of the last of these coppers, but I've still got a Ratcatcher to do it. I could keep it 1 more turn and maybe Chapel the coppers next turn. That's not the best boon ever. 1 more idol, I guess. Yeah, if he's gonna start cursing me, he's got 2 idols as well. Then I guess I probably do want to trash a little bit more aggressively. So it's probably for the best that I didn't trash the Chapel, because I'll need to deal with not just the remaining coppers, but the curses as well. Do I want a 3rd idol? My deck is very thematically conflicted. Like, on the one hand, I've been attending the Chapel heavily, but then I'm also getting caught up in a lot of pagan idolatry. So do I trash 2 coppers here and just buy a silver? Do I trash 1 copper and buy an idol? Like, 3rd idol is not super significant, but I mean, I might not draw all 3 idols every turn, and so that 3rd idol might just be a 2nd idol. Oh, he bought a moat. There's some sensibility in that. It's going to block curses. I definitely see some rationale. I'm still not at 6 non-copper money yet, though. So I think 1 more idol seems good. Will-O-Wisp, I'll take it. Probably not the most significant kingdom ever to have it in. Especially not when I top deck all the other 2 or less cost cards. But it seems better than nothing. That, I'm not sure if that's a good boon or not. Looks like he didn't think it was. So he got to Grand Market a turn before I did. I was pretty likely to get to Grand Market this turn, but you know, my idol bottom decked. I still could theoretically with the right. No, I don't think there's any set of boons that helps me anymore. Like Sea's Gift would get me there, and I think actually Wind's Gift would get me there. But those have already been seen. The money ones are still down there, but that's only 5 money. I think I'm just trashing both of these coppers. Want to stay thin. Sky's Gift is not helpful. Do I take moat now? Blocking coppers sure sound, not blocking coppers, blocking curses. I mean, blocking coppers would sound good too if that were a thing, but blocking curses does sound good. I do have 6 as long as I draw, and I'm pretty darn likely to draw. So I think Moat sounds good just for stopping this copper influx thing that's happening. Well, that is if I don't bottom deck it. What happened to his Grand Market? Oh, it must have bottom decked and he drew it with the Moat. That's good news, but I'm still behind here in an annoying way. Yeah, so I mean, some of this is him being player one, but he got to Grand Market, what, a full turn and a half faster than I did? It would have been half a turn faster if not for that idle bottom deck fiasco that I had the turn before that one. Probably not trashing the silver, I don't think. I think my ideal buys here are actually exactly those buys, Grand Market and Village. Which I think I'll be able to afford here just fine. That's not a bad boon to get. I'll take you. Grand Market and I mean, I could consider one of those other things. The problem I think is like I could add Haunted Woods, but that would like I think that would hurt my next turn too much, even if it helps to turn 2 after. So probably just Village here. That's what I need. Lets me play the Moat and still draw on. If I draw the Village, that is, which I might not. Maybe we're just drawing with Village and Moat. That's a base set engine if there ever was one. Blocks their curses more likely, and it's cheap. Did he just get wind sexed again? That's pretty funny. Poor fellow. Like wind hex is terrible in a lot of contexts like this one, and he's had to suffer it both times. This just came up actually in what match? I think it was in the Haka 3 versus R. Silverstein match that N.A. Smith was complaining about wind hex as a reason not to get idle. And I mean, it can be painful. You know something I didn't make proper note of? This kingdom actually has like very above average art quality, I would say, on the whole. Village is like beautiful art. Grand Market is nice and vibrant. Tragic Hero, I mean, like I feel like it's like not like the most medieval ever, but like it's still good art. Haunted Wood is one of the possible 10 background options for the client. I forget which number it is, probably like 6 or 7. But yeah, I like Haunted Woods. Spooky, particularly apropos for a round happening in October. Distant Lands I like. Chapel might be the odd one out. I think Chapel's pretty darn ugly. That's the black sheep of the kingdom. Ratcatcher's cool. Looks like Hagrid. Pirate Ship is another beautiful one. Look how blue the water is. It's a nice ship. Moat's pretty good. Gets the job done. That one's not like amazing or anything on its own, but it's fine. Idle. I have a pretty similar opinion of Idle. Idle's like in the Moat camp of like it does what it needs to do. And then Conquest. Conquest is pretty cool. There's a lot going on there. I'm not sure what I would buy here as Sangatsu. Grand Market seems like a natural candidate, of course, but then 4 money left is also like a weird amount to have remaining. So I could totally see not getting Grand Market here as well. Then what are you buying? I'm also unsure. Yeah, I see why he's thinking here. I don't know exactly what I would buy here. It is rather non-trivial, I would say. And am I calling my Ratcatcher here? I should think about that. Like, trashing Chapel's great once I no longer need it, but it's unclear exactly whether I'm going to need it. Like, I've got this Moat, which can potentially block the curses, and I got Ratcatcher, which can deal with the curses, but neither quite as well as just chapeling them away again at the end of my turn. And so I'm not sure how imperative it is to hold on the chapel and whether that's going to net increase or decrease my chances of dudding. I mean, the argument, and I almost reflectively clicked that, which is like pop up. My cursor happened to already be on the yes button, which felt so natural. But my natural inclination is, actually, I'm not sure what I'm inclined to do. The deck is like very thin. It doesn't have a whole lot of stop cards. So like trashing one stop card from this deck does a lot for increasing reliability, and that's like a short-term argument for trashing Chapel at the moment. But I worry about taking a bunch of curses later is a real concern, because Ratcatcher does not deal reliably with curses. If you don't top deck them, then it can't get to them. I still think he's more likely to win this game than I am. I think he's a lot of that's player one advantage. Trash the Chapel. I'll trash it. Maybe I need to buy it back. We'll find out. This is not an amazing draw, is it? Oh, that's fine. I bought it to Will-O-Wisp. Who cares about that? I have 10 money here. I could discard silver and then buy Grand Market Moat. That's not a humongous amount of money, though. So I was thinking discard silver, gain village, and buy Grand Market Moat. Maybe I just discard silver, gain silver, and buy Grand Market Moat. As long as I find my village towards the top, that's a good shuffle. If I don't find my village, that could actually be an annoyance. Then I would have 3 idols, 2 silvers. That's 10 money, 3 grand markets. That's 16 money, and that sounds pretty good. I think I'll do it, right? Take the silver. I think it's a little bit of a high risk line because only having one village and 2 modes, it does give me some chance of dudding. But I think that is reasonable, given that I feel a little bit behind. With taking a village would be the more conservative play that I don't have the luxury of doing. Do I want to top deck the Will-O-Wisp? It reduces the chance that I find a moat on top, but increases the chance that I don't dud because it can draw a moat or a Ratcatcher. I think the non-dud risk seems like a good enough reason to do it. And am I incapable of counting? I said this was going to leave me with 8 money, and it left me with not 8 money. It left me with 10 money. Yeah, apparently I just can't count. Okay, well, 10 money. What did I do 10 money? No idea. Didn't plan around this contingency. Well, in this case, maybe I should not have discarded the silver. I could have bought 2 grand. I don't know. I legitimately do not know. Yeah, I had 2 grand markets played and 3 idols. It's 10 versus 12 rather than 8 versus 10. Whoopsie daisy. So, Grand Market's natural contender. I'm probably going to stick to this plan. Maybe just get a free Ratcatcher out of this. Whatever. I probably misplayed that on account of failing to do basic math. I got a extra, Ratcatcher silver moat in place of an extra Grand Market. That seems probably worse. Mountain's Gift is like my boon, but just like strictly better given the way I used it. So I should play the Will-O-Wisp after the Grand Market, I believe. The only things Will-O-Wisp can draw will be Ratcatcher, which is a non-stop card. I think that's right. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I think that's right. Because the card I really want to find is Village. And I think playing Will-O-Wisp after the rest of my cantrips maximizes my chance of finding the Village. This is going to be a long match, isn't it? The problem is, it's nighttime here. What time is it over in Japan? It's probably like morning-ish? I don't know exactly what the time zone difference is. Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's probably like around noon there? Rough estimate. So if this match runs along, I have I think higher risk of becoming fatigued. Maybe that's why he's strategically delaying his moves. Uh, he's playing around every possible advantage. But I've got a counter in mind. Given the length of his moves, I can just take a power nap while he's contemplating his buys and then be refreshed and ready to go for my turn. And then it'll be he who is fatigued. Or even better counter, I'll just finish this game, this match in 4 games, and then it'll be too fast for fatigue to set in. Okay, well, he has more grand markets than I do, but I drew my village. So, who's really winning? Well, that's just a bunch of rat catchers down there, right? Oh, no, there's a grand market at bottom decked, isn't there? Right? Yeah, so there's no point in playing this moat. Actually, do I play this moat? 2 rat catchers in a grand market is like a thing that would be perfectly fine to leave on top. But it also means I wouldn't have top decked my moat for the next, or it severely reduces my chance of top decking the moat. I think I'm leaving there anyway. Well, I thought I was, and Idol had a different idea. So I'm going to lose the grand market split here. That's not the end of the world. It's not good, but... Piles will also be low-ish. Curses are close to empty. Grand markets will be empty. And grand markets give a heck of a lot of plus buy. That is some cause for concern. So I'm pretty sure I'm buying the final grand market here. I do need plus buy. And then probably a village and one of the terminal draw cards, like Haunted Woods or Tragic Hero. Haunted Woods, I don't think the attack hurts at all. Kind of synergizes with a Rat Catcher, because it gives me a larger search space for trash cards if I need to trash stuff. I think I'm leaning towards Tragic Hero, though. It's more immediate draw, puts payload in my deck immediately, and then I can like buy more Tragic Heroes later to replace the draw if I lose it. Yeah, I think this is Village Tragic Hero. And I think we do want to pop it if we can, just to get more money in the short term. And then he's got 7 buys to work with. I've got, if I buy Tragic Hero, I'll have 6 buys. That's not enough for curses to necessarily be... This is going to be weird because you won't necessarily know until like mid-buy phase whether curses are going to be high or low, because you don't know whether they've top decked a moat. But I think that there's some severe possibilities. I'm going to take a curse here. 1 curse isn't the worst ever, but I don't want to take a curse. There's some severe possibilities of pile outs. Right, like with 7 buys, he's already like going to be close to threat, or 8 buys with that boon. He'll be close to doing like moat curse things to pile out with. Probably greening time here. Is Conquest at all relevant? Like you play Tragic Hero, you gain a silver, and then you like double Conquest. That is 8 points. That's more than a province, but it's 12, and you put 5 silvers in your deck, and you trash your... That's probably not worth it. Maybe in a different world where there weren't so many grand markets and so much plus buy, you could build up towards like a big Tragic Hero Conquest mega turnish thing. But I think the short-term points are going to be more important here. Oh, shoot. I forgot my backup plan. This was the time I was supposed to be strategically napping. I can do this. My desk is right next to my bed. Alright. We're going to take a cat nap real fast. Someone ping me when he's made a move. No, dang it. I was just gonna. Okay, fine. Back to the desk. Oh, is that a false alarm? Is he still deliberating? I did have time to nap. I saw him start buying things, and I was just like, all right, he's decided what he wants to buy. No, he just decided 2 things he wanted to buy. Boy. Okay. Province. Yeah. I think he looks like he's in a pretty good spot. I need to find one more village here, and now I can pop it. Okay. Let's contemplate really fast. What if I took an idol and he didn't have a moat top decked? I would give out 2 curses. Idols would be at 4. I would have 6 buys. That would not be enough to do a whole lot, would it? I mean, like, I could buy the idols and then what? So I probably don't want to lower idols, because then that makes it easier for him to pile idols on his next turn. I expect that what's going to happen regardless is, even if I don't lower idols, and even if I do score points, he's probably going to have a pile out here, especially if I do not top deck a moat, which I don't really have control over. But I think he'll be able to gain likely 2 idols off of his heroes, and especially if he can give me curses off of them. But even if he can't, I think he could probably do like 3 idols, and then I'd be in a world of hurt. So then I'm taking a gold here. I draw it. Into actions. Flames Gift? Would not mind that one. Nope. Okay. Yeah, so what do I do? I feel like just taking a ton of provinces is definitely the way that I lose this game, because then even if I avoided like an imminent pile out, my deck is just much, much worse. I think I need to add a bunch of tragic heroes, hope that somehow he can't successfully execute a win here, and then win on my next turn if I get one. So I've got 2 villages, 2 moats. I can add 1 hero for free. I could add another village to help alleviate the problem, but then I'm running into a new pile out threat of him just emptying villages. I think I want 2 total heroes. Like, I'd love to take another village, but I think piling out 4 villages and 3 curses sounds way too easy for him. I'm not sure if it's actually good or bad that he blocked the curses. He could have considered not blocking the curses. Like, if he thought I didn't have a pile out anyway, lower the curse pile to make it easier for him. It probably was still good to block the curses, because it makes it hard for me to take a points lead. Taking a points lead increases the number of gains he needs by 1. But he's got 6 grand markets, 2 tragic heroes, so he's got 9 buys. The gains probably aren't really the problem for him. I think I'm just totally lost here. I'll take a province. And an estate, I guess? Does the estate make a difference? The estate probably doesn't make much of a difference. Silver? Silver might be risky. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to belabor this too much because I think I'm in a bad spot. Either way, this is a good starting hand, though. I got a moat, I got a village, I got a tragic hero. What more can you ask for? Other than the opponent to dud, and please don't end the game. I want to get a turn. Love to have a turn. He's got a points lead now, but he'll have to take a 3 points deficit to empty those curses since I've got a moat on top. So he needed to score some amount of points somehow. He's got 6 grand markets, which is 12 money. He's got, what, 2 idols and how many silvers? Let's go back and count. 2 idols and 2 silvers. 12, 14, 16. Yeah, yeah. If he draws, he wins. Even if he doesn't like manage to pop his heroes and draw back to them, I think just drawing his deck means he wins because he's got 20 money in his deck, and 20 money is enough to do 5 villages, 3 curses, duchy. I don't know. Maybe I should have taken that estate because I think that protects against this exact scenario if somehow I could have calculated this was going to happen. Oh, oh my goodness. Am I going to win this game? That's a bad dud. I shouldn't jinx myself. I have not drawn my deck yet. I am not out of the woods yet. He'll province here, I think, and that still makes it not trivial for me at all. If he does not have a moat on top, then I've got, I think, a decent chance because that makes it easier for me to give out curses. That's only 1 curse, really, but it definitely makes it easier at the very least. No, it's 2 curses at the very least because I think if I draw, I can draw back to the idols that I gain with this tragic hero. I'm actually not sure about that. But like if I pop hero, gain an idol, that's a 4th idol, and then that would be enough to give out 2 curses, which is both, you know, functionally 2 gains and also 2 points, which is good. You know what I could have considered doing last turn? I didn't think his deck was likely to dud. Like, it's mostly cantrips. Maybe I should have played more heavily around a dud. Like, just taking, like, more villages and stuff to make it easier for me to pile. Because I took, like, a little bit of a middle ground approach. Like, I didn't max points or anything to make it impossible for him to win. But I still danced around the piles a bit. And, like, it's hard to say exactly how much to do that, you know, because there's a chance where they have, like, a partial dud where they do most of what their deck can do but don't quite get to all of it. Like, the bottom deck 1 or 2 grand markets, and then if you took, like, 1 village more than you needed to, then you opened up a win. But maybe the best line was just to play more into a dud. That could just be hindsight talking, of course. You know, I'm saying like, oh, well, look, given that he dudded, of course I would rather have lowered piles even more. So I can't say whether that was like the optimal play, not already knowing this or not. I could pirate ship him, trash those idols. Then he doesn't have a way to lower curses. He loses a lot of his payload. Maybe time to go for pirate ships. You literally, you have no money left. What are you gonna buy? A copper? Is he contemplating buying out the curses? Just let me take my turn, please. Why are we doing this? 41 people is more than expected watching this time of night. My guess is probably there's a pretty big Japanese contingent in there. Yeah. Oh. Huh. I did that kind of reflexively. I'm not sure if that's actually correct. That actually makes it harder for me to pop my tragic heroes. Should I undo that? I gotta think if do I have overdraw potential? Oh god. So the stop cards in my deck are 3 idols, 3 silvers, so 6. Province is 7. There's a moat that I can't play because I'm over terminal, so 8. Is that it? I've got 8 stop cards in my deck. Am I missing any? I don't think so. How much draw do I have? 5, 6 with the River's Gift that I had. I had the Curse, so I had 9 stop cards. I wasn't counting the Curse because it was trash. So I had 6 with the River's Gift. 2 with Hero is 8. 2 more with Hero is 10. Yeah, I think I'm going for broke here, maybe. So maybe I don't trash the Curse. Because it lets me get 1 more idol and potentially play it. think it's do or die. I don't want this game to go long. I think my odds are much lower if we play out too much farther. I need to find the other village. That looks good. This is looking really good. Wow, this will-o-wisp synergy that I did not expect at all. So do I take a gold here, or do I take another idol here? Probably idol, right? Like 3 idols and 5 villages are equivalent in money, but lower in gains, which is probably good. I sure hope he does not have a moat on top. Please don't have a moat on top. Bottom deck and Grand Market was actually really bad for me. But this might be enough anyway. Oh, this is gonna be close. Yeah, so... Wait, is this enough for a tie? If I just bought 3 idols, a curse, and a province, I should take the tie, right? Yes, this Grand Market cost me the win, but I think I'll still take the tie. Because now if I win one more, I win. And I get to be player 1. That's good news. So he's already switched the player order, but he hasn't readied up. Are we taking a break? If we're taking a break, I don't mind, but I'd like to know. I'll click ready, and I'll see if that induces him to click ready. No. Sangatsu? You there? Ali Ali Oxenfree. Did he maybe say BRB like after he'd left the game and re-entered the lobby, but before I had? Oh no, here we go. Okay. The hopefully final game does not look fun. Does not look like a fun kingdom at all. Ew. Blech. So you got Recruiter for actions. The only draw is Ghost Ship. And Recruiter plus Ghost Ship. Like, both strong cards. But as far as like actions and draw go, that's not like going to be a strong engine by any stretch of the imagination. So like imagine you, oh god, you play a bandit, you gain a gold, you play a recruiter. So that takes up 3 spaces in your deck, draws 2, so it's draw negative by 1. It costs 2 actions and gives 4 villagers back. So bandit plus recruiter is just like fancy acting troupe, I think. And then you like bandit recruiter double ghost ship increases hand size by like 1. This is gonna be unpretty. It's gonna be ugly. Horse traders, I think I'm opening silver horse traders. Horse traders will be kind of nice versus ghost ship anyway. Does a lot to mitigate that attack. I'd love to hit 6 and buy crop rotation. It seems like a reasonably good thing to have here. And then I think you just want to like spam ghost ships and recruiters for a while. Maybe buy Piazza, because like if that hits, +1 action, +1 card here looks like actually really good. Piazza also soft counters ghost ship, I suppose. Like if you top deck a card, you can guarantee it top decks an action card, which makes ghost ship, you know, less harmful than usual. Yes, I'm thinking silver horse traders ghost ships and recruiters in some order for a while, crop rotation and piazza at some point. Unsure. I want some sort of gainer. I'm not sure if that's Haggler or Bandit Camp. Not Bandit Camp. That doesn't exist in this kingdom. Bandit. I guess we'll cross that bridge later. Probably when we come to it. Maybe while we're like approaching it, but haven't quite yet arrived at the bridge. We might think about it. But I think that bridge is still a long distance off. 4 not great here, but if I collide horse traders and silver on that next 2 cards, then it's probably good. You really want to see it turn 3 so you can get crop rotation in play for turn 4. I think I'm just going to buy ducats here on non-5 turns for a while. Like, it doesn't add any stop cards to my deck. And if Recruiter ultimately trashes them, then that's good because you get more villagers out of it that way than trashing copper. And the coffers maybe help you hit 5 more exactly more often. I do really want to get 6. I feel like crop rotation is good, even if I trash some of the estates. Just that short-term effect is really nice, and then it starts doing good things again in the end game. What about Gatekeeper here? Gatekeeper really shuts down Explorer, but I don't think they're going to get Explorer. I don't think it does enough versus the other ones, so I don't think Gatekeeper comes up. Okay, so we had pretty similar shuffles. Actually, I mean, I think basically identical. But he chose the second horse traders over the ducat. And I mean, it's not bad, especially if we end up getting ghost ships. Then horse traders is going to be a good card. I will take crop rotation here. Takes a second recruiter. That's a good card too. Maybe it's time for my second recruiter. The number of horse traders he has does reduce my urgency of getting ghost ship because it's not going to do a huge amount. In fact, I think horse traders basically fully count as ghost ship, right? Because you reduce the amount of cards in your top deck by 1, and you draw 1 card. So I think it more or less neutralizes ghost ship entirely, at the cost of having to have horse traders in your deck. Because like long term, it's not a very good card to have many numbers of copies. That's what we're going for. To have multiple copies of. Probably trashing copper here. Gets me to 6 with a coffer. I feel like you're probably going to want not recruiter. I think you're probably going to want ghost ship anyway, just for the draw, even if the attack is going to be affected by the horse traders. Because it is only a draw card, even if it's a weak draw card. Does that mean it's time for it already? I don't know. Could consider Haggler. Is Haggler a better gainer than Bandit? Bandit can hit their treasures. I'm not sure how much they treasure their treasures. Maybe Bandit's actually a little bit countered by buying ducats. Because then, like, you turn your coppers into a thing Bandit can trash, and then it's doing trashing for you, which might actually be like that beneficial. Haggler gives you 2 money immediately, but Haggler also is probably giving you like cheaper stuff on the whole. I think I'm between Ghost Ship and Haggler right now. I'm gonna say Ghost Ship, and then we'll like buy Piazza and Haggler at some point soon. I'm not sure how many estates to trash. Like, do I just trash all the estates with Recruiter? At the point where I've only got 1 estate in my deck and I have crop rotation, the estate is kind of a draw card. Not a reliable one because it's only draw if it's in my starting hand and not if I draw it with Recruiter or Ghost Ship. But I think that still makes it more of a draw card than a stop card. Like, if I'm drawing fewer than, on average, 5 total cards per turn, then I'm more likely to see a state in a given starting hand than later in a turn. So it's more likely to draw me 2 cards than 0 cards, which I think makes it, on average, better than a cantrip to keep an estate around. So probably I want to not trash this last estate until about the time I start greening. Or until such time as I start drawing more than like 5 cards per turn, which gives it's more likely to be a stop card. I don't think I'm building super big here, though. Just the amount of work to get marginal amounts of draw seems too much to justify like a really big engine with like a bunch of recruiters and bandits or hagglers and then a bunch of ghost ships. I think probably This is going to be more or less single province E. Trash a copper first, and then reevaluate whether to trash an estate. Probably need to here, right? I'm low on villagers. I got a ghost ship coming up that I want to play. So playing horse traders costs me a villager, but saves me a coffer if I'm buying a 5-cost card. Do I value the villagers or the coffers more? Probably the coffers, right? They're harder to get than the villagers, I think. I'm gonna do it. We'll take Piazza now. They got a ghost ship, so I kind of want to have it. Like if they ghost ship in now, I can guarantee that my ghost ship gets Piazza'd. Bandit still is like not unappealing, but I think I prefer Haggler. They trash one of their ghost ships, top deck copper and then ghost ship, right? Yeah. You do the copper first and the ghost ship second, so the ghost ship ultimately ends up on top. Ideally, my estate was the top card of my deck, and then my ghost ship draws it. Because if my ghost ship is drawn by, or is played by Piazza, then I'm still at the start of my turn. And so if I drew my copper, if I drew my estate off of the ghost ship, I would actually be able to discard it to crop rotation. 2.5 hours in. They're only like warming up game 4. 2.5 hours is usually like a long-ish 6-game league match. I might need to go start some coffee brewing. I don't want to fall asleep in the middle of the game. The Mercury versus Kazumaru match actually put me to sleep. I remember watching it. Naismith was doing some commentary. I guess very soothing commentary because I fell asleep in like game 1 of that. I woke up like 6 hours later. And the match was still going. That match was ridiculously long. Alrighty, I'm back. Coffee is now brewing. Okay, so we do Piazza first. We did not draw our thingy estate. That means we will see it next turn. What did he do? Piazza Ducat. Okay, fair enough. Haggler time. Seems right. I feel like I've got a marginal lead. Not at all 100% on that. My guess is the marginal lead is probably largely a byproduct of being player 1. That's usually where marginal leads come from when you're player 1. So in 2019, I made it to quarterfinals, lost on a 4-0 to Mercury. 2020, made it to quarterfinals, lost on a 4-1, that time to Freaky. So if my powers of deduction do not fail me, actually I guess this is more powers of induction, but it seems like I'm basically fated to make it to quarterfinals, so I will win this match, but to lose on a 4-2. I think the empirical evidence for that trajectory is pretty solid. And then I just need like, what, 2 or 3 more years, then I'll finally win quarterfinals. I'll be 4-3 in 2022, and then finally in 2023, I'll make it past quarterfinals and win that match, make it to semifinals. Okay, Piazza first. Trash. Discard. Attack. You jerk. Don't horse trade my ghost ship attack. So I kind of want to trash the horse traders because I really need villagers. But the horse traders, if I were to top deck it, which just didn't happen either the last 2 turns, but it could. If I top deck it, that's really good. Hmm. So if I trash horse traders, I've got 7 money and a buy, plus 3 coffers. If I trash silver and play horse traders, I've got 3, 4, 6 money and a buy, plus the coffers. I'm thinking trash the silver. Is it province time already? I'm really unsure. Like I said, I don't necessarily want to build really big. The province itself jives with crop rotation and lets me recruit the estate because I won't need it anymore. But it still feels pretty early, so I'm not sure. Wouldn't mind either getting a second haggler. I could get the second haggler off of province actually. I could just haggle into second haggler. I could just conserve a villager, not play horse traders. And at 5, I could buy like haggler, gain a horse traders off of it, or buy ghost ship, gain a horse traders. I'm probably trashing one of those horse traders to my recruiters, but that would be fine because it would have done its job of being reacted. Yes, and I'm kind of thinking just like leave the horse traders unplayed. Maybe play haggler, buy second haggler horse traders. That's a lot of payloady things. This is a great starting hand. Horse traders and estate. Ghost ship me. I dare you. Double dog dare you. And I think this turn, if all goes well, I'll probably start provincing. With 2 hagglers, I can continue building off of the haggler gains while graining. I think that's what I would like is discard the estate, trash a horse traders, trash a copper, play 2 hagglers, buy province, haggle like, I don't know, like a ghost ship and a gold or something off of it. And then next turn I'm probably killing the estate once I got a province in my deck. Next turn might be many minutes away, so I'm gonna go see if my coffee's done. Oh, good timing, just as I was about to walk away. Make sure, I noticed he doesn't always ask for undos all at once. He does like one step at a time. All right, I think he's done with the undos. Okay, I'm back. What? You didn't ghost ship me? I was so ready for it. Okay, well, crop rotation for... I'm not sure whether crop rotation is better before or after Piazza. It's probably... makes no difference if I've got a draw card in my hand, and better to do crop rotation first if I don't. Because doing it in that order would give you more search space to find a draw card if you didn't already have one. Oh, he doesn't have a ghost ship. No, that's not what I meant. He doesn't have a horse traders in his hand. Because the horse traders reaction would happen before the +2 cards. So I mean that's pretty good. It's still only a marginal attack. It's like -1 draw instead of -2 because it guarantees your Piazza hits. Or like -1.5 because there's a chance your Piazza would have hit anyway. But it's definitely doing something if you hit him without the horse traders. So I said I wanted to trash horse traders here for villagers. Is that still true? Because like I can also trash this estate for villagers. If for some reason I wanted more money. Probably trashing the horse traders just because I don't plan on playing it. Not both of them at least. Well, let's see if I... Yeah. This gives me lots of villagers. Many, many villagers. And now, I said province gold ghost ship. That still sounds pretty okay. The starting hand is pretty bad, but what can you do? Actually, that's not. I mean, it's not great because like a great starting hand has the province and or the horse traders in it, but it does have 3 draw cards in it, so like it's not that bad. Well, it did have 3 draw cards in it. Now it has 1 draw card in it, 2 on top of the deck. I wonder if he'll try to build more than I will. I mean, there's an argument to be had for, I think I've got a little bit of a lead here, and so if you're him, then you probably want to differentiate, I think just for the sake of differentiating, right? Like, if you're unsure, you don't want to just like follow me doing the same thing but a little bit slower. It's not like a strong reason, you know, that's some reason. Do the higher variance thing, maybe building pays off, maybe doesn't. The good news for my relatively early greening plan is that there isn't really any alt VP around at all. So, you know, you can't come back by buying a bunch of distant lands like exist in the previous kingdom or conquest or something like that if you get behind on provinces. Okay, yeah, so he is following suit. Piazza first, draw a province, please. I asked nicely. I think this is the second time where my horse choice has been like exactly on the top of my deck. I'm like 1 card short of being in the right place. This is fine. I don't get both hagglers. But still seems pretty good all in all. So I think another province and another ghost ship. I didn't draw everything here, but you know, with a good starting hand, I'm more likely to draw everything. But I also don't have a green card or a horse traders in these top 3 cards. I'm not like super likely to get that really good starting hand. Maybe 1 more ghost ship. I think the 5 coffers thing seems kind of significant. It'll be much easier for me to double province when push comes to shove. Oh, he's also got a bandit. I think that gives me some additional reason maybe to not go for a gold because it's a bandit chart. I could take a gatekeeper. Gatekeeper bypasses bandit. Explorer also might actually. Now that I got province on my deck, Explorer could be a good gold gainer. It's like bandit minus the attack part, but it puts it directly into your hand, which is good. I'm pretty sure I'm buying province. I can click that now. I think I don't need the ghost ship yet. I think. I want to click the gatekeeper just because it's gatekeeper. That's the most fun answer. Plus 3 coins next turn. Let's do it. This is a good starting hand. No horse traders, but I got a province, which is great. I'll need to try something high value with this recruiter because I'm low on villagers. Not sure what that will be. I think the first recruiter will just trash the copper. I'll have to decide what to trash for the second recruiter once I see all the cards available to me. Could be haggler. I don't really want it to be haggler, but like that wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Oh, wait a second. Wait 1 second. This could be sneaky. Uh-oh. I just realized something about this bandit attack. So, actually, I'm not sure if it's really a net good or a net bad thing, but here's my thought, is you play your ghost ship first, they top deck 2 cards, and then you play the bandit. Now, in a normal scenario, that'd be like a really bad combo for you because they just top deck 2 junk cards and then they flip the 2 junk cards. Your bandit never hits. But here, I'm not sure if that's actually a bad thing or like an intended effect. You know, because like they will naturally want to top deck an action card for Piazza to hit, and then your bandit says, "Psych, that action's in the discard now," and so it like, denies them the Piazza counter to the ghost ship attack. At the cost, I suppose, of your bandit never ever actually hits, because they're never going to top deck the gold knowing that you've got the bandit attack available. Um, so yeah, after all that rambling, I'm actually not sure where I fall on this bandit thing. For a second, I was like, oh my god, he's got some like next level ghost ship bandit combo to deny me Piazza. But then on further contemplation, I'm not sure if it's actually like that strong. Like here, I would probably top deck Copper Recruiter or something, and then he plays bandit. He flipped my Recruiter, oh no, but he also flipped my Copper, yay. And then I still have some chance of Piazza hitting because I have a decently action dense deck. Okay, so don't think this order matters very much. We'll do crop rotation first. Nice. I have a horse traders down there that I need to draw, but I'm guaranteed to draw it. So, am I just saying goodbye to the gatekeeper already? I don't really want to trash the gatekeeper yet, but I do need villagers, and there is some argument to be had that perhaps this gatekeeper is in fact the lowest value card in my deck. It could be true. But now that I look at this hand, you know, I see 2 attacks. Out of the 2 of them, the gatekeeper's looking like it might be the stronger one. Maybe I kill the ghost ship, and I play the gatekeeper, and I can regain a ghost ship for next turn, because this ghost ship is doing nothing for me this turn. I think that's what I am doing. Yeah. So if I take a province here, I can double next turn, and I feel like that should be enough to be winning. And don't even try to gain a non-victory card, Sangatsu, because you're gonna get gate capped if you do. I could double province now, actually. Hello. Yeah, and then I'm kind of threatening to double again if I do that. So I've got 11 natural money. 4, 6, 8, 11. Yeah. I won't have any of the coffers, but I'll have 3 more from Gatekeeper to bring it to 14. So I only need to add 2 more money to my deck to threaten to double a second time. That is, of course, providing his bandit doesn't kill my gold, but the odds of that are like, meh. So I think I'm just going to double and add a bunch of draw, which I think makes it pretty likely for me to double again, and that should seal the deal. And I need to add some source of 2 money. Could be Haggler, could be Explorer. Well, in any case, I think I'm taking some ghost ships for draw. Maybe something like 2 ghost ships, Recruiter, Explorer, I think is enough to threaten a double province again. Not a bad starting hand. Got a draw card and a province. Good enough for me. Uh-oh, tricky though. They're ghost shipping me first, and then they're going to bandit me. So I should not put my ghost ship on top or I'll lose it. I think I say goodbye to the Hagglers. I'd rather the Explorer at this point. Goodbye, Hagglers. I'm not sure how likely I am to draw my deck, to be honest. If all goes well, I double province, but, you know, these decks aren't like 100% reliable or anything. I think even if I don't double, though, I feel like I'm still in a pretty good position here, unless I just, like, absolutely dud here. Yeah, so if I draw, I win. Odds of that? Unsure. I do have a decent amount of draw cards in these next 11. Like, I threw in a bunch of ghost ships and recruiters. I'm going to draw at least 2 off of crop rotation. I got a decent shot at a Piazza hit. Oh, never mind. This did work for them. I thought the gatekeeper blocked them, but they cleverly found a way around it by gaining 2 cards instead of 1. The only flaw of gatekeeper is that one little loophole that lets them gain 2 copies of a card. This feels good. If I find a recruiter, I'm probably set. Play this next. Now recruiter. How many cards are in my discard? This should be a win, right? If I just trash province. There's a province and 2 Hagglers down there, right? I'm pretty sure this is winning, but feels like I think I should double check before I trash provinces. I can only trash, I can trash as many provinces as I want, right? Even if I trashed 3 provinces, I would still have a points lead after buying 2 provinces back. So 3, 6, 7, 10, 13. Yeah, if I find the Hagglers, I win. So I have to trash 1 more province. Uh, 5, 11, 12. I gotta find the last Haggler for it to work out. But I can trash copper if I need to. 5, 11, 13, 16, yeah. We won't trash more provinces than necessary. And we'll gain some more gatekeepers.